Hello patrons. I get asked quite often how I produce my videos, with people often commenting on the audio quality, lighting and production values. Well, continue watching and I will explain how I do it. First thing I do, pick a book to read, in this case Masks of Nyarlathotep Part 2, Peru. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks and I've read the next chapter. I now need to write up my review. Some people seem to have the impression that I have an incredible memory and I'm remembering all of the details. This is simply not true, and I'll explain why. For many years I suffered from an untreated medical condition called obstructive sleep apnea, a condition where you stop breathing in your sleep. This caused fairly significant short-term memory loss and made it difficult for me to retain information from many games that I was trying to learn. A few years ago I started receiving treatment for the condition, which has made my short-term memory return to how it was previously. As a way to try and relearn the systems I'd forgotten over the years, I decided that I would start writing reviews for this channel in a kind of book report way. I write the review in Notepad. Now, you may balk at this, but it's quite simply the easiest solution. There's no strange formatting to contend with, no compatibility issues or problems sending via email. It just works and the file size is minimal. Once I've written the review, I give it a read through to make sure that it makes sense and then I move on to recording the audio. Okay, I'm now set up to record the audio for my video. I use an overhead microphone stand with a Blue Yeti mic that is plugged straight into Audacity. There are many reasons for this combination. Firstly, the microphone. When I started, I recorded the audio on my phone and sent it to my PC and edited it there. If you watch some of my earlier videos, you'll notice a distinct difference in the quality of the sound. I borrowed a Yeti from a friend in work and within one night of using it I was completely sold. I actually have two Yeti microphones as I was given one by a friend. I use an overhead microphone stand so that I can't accidentally knock it or kick it, which will create unwanted noise. I use Audacity for a few reasons. Firstly, it's 100% free and completely compatible with the mic. Secondly, the editing suite is actually really intuitive. I edit the audio by first normalising it, which gives it balance throughout, and then compress it to improve the dynamic range. I then work through the audio from start to finish, cutting out any fluffed lines, coughs, sniffs and swearing, as well as adding silence to breaths and the like. I also adjust gaps between lines and paragraphs to improve the pacing. I've picked this up gradually over the last 2 years since starting my channel. Now you may ask yourself why I record the audio first. Well, if I were to sit and read the script I've written, the videos are on average around 25% longer due to all of the previously mentioned things I remove. Also, I want the video to sound as rich and informative as possible, so scripting it allows me to not forget anything important while leaving out anything superfluous. Now you may be wondering how that works. Well, the audio you're listening to now was recorded and edited earlier, and I'm in fact just reacting to a recording of it to show you why it's done this way. Hope that doesn't freak you out too much. Okay, now to recording the video. First things first, I set up my lighting rig. I use a single light box in a darkened room to keep the light even, although if it is a bright day I will use natural light. My video of the Delta Green Handler's Guide was recorded in this way. I actually record the video on my iPhone as it can do 1920 by 1080p at 60 frames a second. I have a special overhead boom that holds my phone that I can adjust the height and position of, and I record on my dining room table and always give it a clean before doing so. I sit with my laptop in front of me, with the audio from Audacity playing loud enough for my phone to pick it up. This will be useful later. If I have a video under 10 minutes long, I use a bit of software called Reflector, which shows the screen on your iPhone on your computer, which allows me to make sure the positioning of my hands and the book is in the centre of the screen. The reason it is only 10 minutes is because the iPhone starts overheating when used for any longer than that. Before I start recording, I take a photograph to use as a thumbnail of my video, and use a white balance card before I start recording. This stops the video from changing contrast when pages are turned due to the different levels of whiteness. This is a recent thing that I've learned and started using. I'm constantly learning new tips and tricks to make things better. Okay, so I record my video. Right, the video is recorded, so now it needs to be edited. I obtained a copy of Adobe Premiere Pro recently, and I found this to be the best option by far. I had previously used the very basic Microsoft Movie Maker, though that was abandoned by the company and is no longer supported. I do still have it on my PC and make the short intro credit sequences on them, as I have a template already set up. The intro music that you hear at the start of all of my reviews is a freeware piece called Bensound Sci-Fi that I obtained from a free audio website. I import the video in and then the WAV file that I've previously prepared of the audio. I always save as a WAV rather than MP3 as the audio quality is far better. Now the reason I record the audio on the phone as well is that you can synchronise the audio in Premiere Pro. Once I've done this, I mute the audio channel on the video and all you have is the crystal clear audio and muted video with audio perfectly synchronised. Once I've added my credit sequence at the start and the end, I export the video as a 60 frames per second HD copy. This is quite CPU intensive and can take a long time to process. Okay, so the video has been exported, and I now have a shiny new MP4 video recording of the review, a photo that I've produced for my thumbnail, and a written out script that I use for my subtitles, which I edit by hand. Before I upload, I go on to DriveThruRPG and Amazon to try and track down the product I'm reviewing so I can put an affiliate link in my description, which hopefully people will click, and then I upload it and make it live. And that's it. Hopefully this sheds some light on my process and doesn't put you off too much. As you can see, there's a lot of work that goes into my videos, which is why in 2 years I've only managed to produce 77, but as you can see I want to get them as right as I can first time round, which means that they're worth taking the time on. Thanks for watching, and remember that this video is exclusive to you guys, so please make sure you don't pull back the curtains for those who aren't patrons by sharing this video link with anyone. Bud out.